Obviously, the biggest question this offseason, the biggest question for this training camp, and the biggest question moving forward is quarterback. Who is going to be the starting quarterback? That's like, and we've beaten that dead horse enough times where it's like, all right,
I think everybody has.
There's other questions. It's got like, every time I get the ESPN alert, there's like a training camp alert. It's the same thing every time.
Yep.
Minshew and O'Connell. Neither one forged ahead, or like O'Connell, slight edge today. Minshew, slight. It's like there's a lot of other things you guys can talk about, which is like quarterbacks. That's like the big story. The more I think about it, I know that Antonio Pierce really wants one of them to grab the reins and run with it, right? You want the decision to be easy. You want one guy to crush it and take over. Like that's the best case scenario. That's not going to happen. Neither one of these quarterbacks are like that. They're not lightning strikers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think what's going to come down to is one of them's going to lose it more than one of them's going to win. I think one of them's going to have, and we'll get to the first preseason game here in a second. But I don't want to take too much of it, but I think it's going to be more, one dude's going to throw like 3 picks in a preseason game, and then it's going to be like, okay, we know where we got to go. Like,
I mean,
and this team's not asking this quarterback to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. They're saying, all right, our run game and our defense is going to be, we got Daniel Carlson that can crush 3 yards. We can get us 3 points from 55 yards every time out, automatic. We got potentially a top 10, potentially top 5. We're getting kind of crazy, but should be a really good defense. Potentially a run game that should be all right. Just protect the ball. And so that makes sense. That it's gonna be. I think it's more a guy's going to lose the position battle than someone's going to take it.
Very similar to like the NFL as a whole. Like more teams lose games than win games.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at kind of what I outlined in the last video. These guys are very close. So for them to be, as far as their production last season, and that was really the first time that either one of them had extended play as a pro. Minshew had spot starts here and there, but he played 13 straight. He played, 4 months of games, right? So
played a full college season.
Yeah, played a full college season, and so when you have tendencies and things, and they both do similar things well, and they both do similar things poorly, and I think that whoever shows, like you said, the ability to protect the ball better, and also probably mix in there whoever can, when given the chance to, whoever can be more accurate throwing the ball a little bit further down the field. I think that guy's going to have a leg up because because we can't win the way we won last year. It's not sustainable. You can't do it. You can't expect to have an 8-yard starting position difference from your opponent and yourself. That's massive.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect to go 100% in the goal line situations, touchdowns. You can't expect to have such a drastic jump in how good you are converting third downs in field goal range as opposed to the other part of the field. All these things fell into place specifically, and it's very difficult to win games when you're constantly playing for third down because you can't push the ball to get chunk plays on first and second down. So that's going to be a big thing to look at, throwing the ball past 10 yards.
I think it's going to come down to 2 things. Protecting the ball, like we've talked about. I think it's going to be number 1. Like, who fucks up the least is going to be the primary goal. But I also think it's just who grasps the offense the best, right? Like, who can be the general. Like, you're not going to have to play hero ball. You're not going to have to throw the ball that far that often, probably. It's just, Brock, you go there. Oh, I see a safety blitz. We're going to audible to this. Like, who can grasp Getsy's offense quickest and best? Because we know, I mean, again, I love to be optimistic and say one of these guys is so much better than we thought because of, it's second year for O'Connell and it's finally a home for Minshew. Like, that's still a possibility that there's some greatness in there that just hasn't had a chance to show up yet. But if both these guys are who we think they are, neither one of them is going to be just like this lightning playmaker. It's going to be play within the offense, don't turn it over. So it's all right. Who's going to throw less picks, and who's got the mind to grasp Getsy's offense the best and quickest? I think it's going to be those two things. Not anything physical, not actual playmaking. I think it's just going to be who can be the general of this offense and don't screw it up. Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.